My millionaire father left my siblings his entire life savings, but he left me a single rusty key and a map to a basement in a house he didn't even own. I showed up to the reading of the will in my broken down Honda Civic, the same one my brother used to joke was worth less than a tank of gas. He laughed again, calling me a loser while he was cashing in a six-figure check. But he didn't understand something about my father. In his world, cash was paper, secrets were gold. My dad was a self-made millionaire, but he was cold. The kind of cold that teaches lessons instead of giving love. He always said, the one who works for it, keeps it. When the lawyer read the will, my sister got the $2 million beach house. My brother got the $1 million investment portfolio. I got a key. And a map to a random rental property in a town my dad swore he'd never even visited. It took me 5 hours to get there because my Civic overheated twice on the highway. By the time I arrived, I was exhausted, irritated, and honestly ready to prove them right. The place was a complete dump. But in the basement, behind a fake wall, the key fit into a heavy steel door like it had been waiting for me. Inside wasn't money, it was power. A high-end server rack glowed in the dark, humming like it had secrets to tell. A single monitor flickered on with a sticky note. Log in and win. I typed in 67, the number my dad always made me remember, the one tied to the only year he ever said he was proud of anything he built. The screen unlocked instantly. What I found wasn't a bank account, it was control. Full back-end access to the software my brother's entire firm runs on. Every transaction, every file, every hidden deal. Then I found a folder labeled The Truth. And that's when everything clicked. My siblings hadn't just been handed success. They'd been stealing it for years, skimming from the family business, hiding money, covering their tracks, but not well enough. My father knew the whole time. He didn't leave them the money out of love. He left it so it would tie them directly to everything they'd done. A perfect setup, a perfect trap. And me, I wasn't left out. I was left in charge. The final note on the screen read, "You were the only one who stayed honest. They have the money, but you have the truth. If they ever forget who you are, remind them." This morning, my sister blocked my number after I asked her for help fixing my car. My brother sent me a laughing emoji and told me to figure it out like always. So now I'm sitting here, back in my dying Honda Civic, engine ticking, laptop glowing in the dark, cursor hovering over one button, send to IRS. They got the millions, but I got the ending. And this time, I decide how it plays out. My mother-in-law accused me of swapping her $50,000 heirloom diamond for a fake the night before my wedding. She had me arrested in my wedding dress and forced my husband to annul the marriage on the spot. She told the entire guest list I was a gold digger. My own parents were so ashamed they didn't speak to me for years. I lost my job, my home, and the man I loved because a lab test confirmed the stone in her ring was cubic zirconia. I kept telling everyone I didn't touch the ring. I begged him to believe me, but he wouldn't even look at me. I spent 5 years rebuilding my life in a different state, haunted by the look on my ex-husband's face when he called me a criminal. 2 weeks ago, my ex-husband called me sobbing. His mother had passed away, and while clearing out her safe deposit box, he found a receipt from a jeweler dated 2 days before the wedding. She had sold the real diamond to pay off her secret gambling debts, and replaced it with a fake herself, just to frame me, because she never liked my family. He said he felt sick, said he destroyed our life over a lie. He begged me to come back, said he'd spend the rest of his life making it up to me. But all I could think about was that night, standing there in handcuffs, still in my dress, begging my own husband to trust me. And he chose her. I told him something he didn't expect. The worst part wasn't losing everything. It was realizing the person who promised to stand by me didn't. So I sent him a photo of my new engagement ring, a real one, and I told him he should have trusted his wife more than his mother's lies. Then I blocked his number. I lost everything that night, but I found something better, a life where I never have to beg to be believed again.
My twin sister didn't just steal my life, she replaced me. And for 3 years, nobody noticed. I woke up from a coma and found out I didn't exist anymore. Not legally, not socially, nothing. My name, my job, my apartment, everything belonged to her. 3 years ago, I was on my way to my engagement party. Life was finally going right. Then my car suddenly lost control and I crashed. I went into a coma, but it wasn't an accident. While I was unconscious, my identical twin sister came back into my life. We hadn't spoken in years. Growing up, she always competed with me. Friends, grades, relationships. If I had something, she wanted it. This time, she didn't want to compete. She wanted to take everything. She told everyone she was me. Same face, same voice, same mannerisms. When people noticed differences, she said the accident caused memory problems. That explained everything. And people believed her. She moved into my apartment, took over my job, started signing documents as me. Then she married my fiancé. While I was still alive. My parents figured it out early, but when they confronted her, she threatened them. She said if they exposed her, she would have me taken off life support. So they stayed quiet. For 3 years. When I woke up, my mom didn't say, "We missed you." She said they didn't know how to fix this. Because on paper, I was already living my life, and she was doing it better. When my sister came into my hospital room, she didn't panic. She smiled and said, "You're not supposed to be awake yet." That's when I realized she planned everything. She had been watching me for months before the crash. Learning my routine, studying my life, waiting for the perfect moment to step in. She didn't just take an opportunity. She created it. And she almost got away with it. But she got comfortable. She stopped paying attention to the details. Small things started slipping. Foods I loved, she avoided. Memories she couldn't explain. Inside jokes she didn't remember. My fiancé started noticing. At first, he ignored it. Then he found my journal, the one I kept hidden that she didn't know about. That's when things started falling apart. When he finally saw me, he knew immediately. He realized he had married someone else, lived with someone else, trusted someone who wasn't me. We went to the police. At first, they didn't believe it. It sounded insane. But the evidence kept building. Medical records, handwriting analysis, security footage. Then they found proof she had tampered with my car. That's when everything changed. She was arrested. At the trial, she didn't deny anything. She just kept repeating that she did it better than I ever could. Like my life was something she had won. She's in prison now. My fiancé and I aren't together anymore. There's too much damage, too much confusion. But I still think about how close I came to disappearing completely. If I hadn't woken up, she would still be living my life. And nobody would have ever questioned it.
My billionaire ex-boyfriend didn't just break up with me. He tried to erase my entire existence. He locked me out of the company we built, froze my bank accounts, and even had his lawyers take the keys to my own apartment. He told me I was nothing without him. The only thing he didn't take was my old broken-down Honda Civic because he said it was too embarrassing to even have in his name. He spent the last month acting like a tech god, doing interviews and spending the billions I helped him make. He thought he left me with 0 options, stuck in a car that barely starts and 67 cents left in my bank account. But he forgot one thing. I didn't just build his app, I built the entire security system for his life. Every password he uses and every server he owns was set up by me. I spent the night sitting in the back seat of my Civic, using a cheap burner phone and a library's Wi-Fi signal. I wasn't trying to beg for my money back. I was looking for the back door. See, when I coded the platform, I hid an emergency reset that only triggers if the primary owner's access is disputed by a founding partner. I just had to prove I was the one who actually wrote the original source code. Yesterday, while he was on stage at a huge tech gala, I hit the final sequence. In an instant, his face on the big screen was replaced by a legal document showing that I owned 100% of the intellectual property. He tried to log into his accounts to stop it, but he was locked out of his own life. The nothing he left me with was the only thing that could actually destroy him. He found me in the parking lot later, screaming that I had no right to take his company. I just looked at him from the driver's seat of my rattling Honda and said, "You told me to be a normal person. Normal people don't own tech empires. So I guess now you're finally normal." He's offering me everything back now just to fix the code. Should I let him keep his mansion, or should I leave him with nothing but a bus pass? Let me know in the comments.